Oh, hello. I didn't hear you come in. You know, there is something special about a cafe after clothing. Such a cozy, almost magical silence. Today was an amazing day. So many guests, so many stories. In the morning, an elderly couple came in. They were celebrating 50 years of marriage. Can you imagine? Have a century of love, care, tenderness. I baked a special cake for them, and in gratitude they told such a touching story of how they met. And after lunch, there was a little girl with her mother. They were reading a book right at the table, and the girl was so enthusiastically telling her mother about the adventures of the main character. In such moments, you realize our cafe is not just a place where you can have a cup of tea. It's a place where stories are born. You know, I often think if these walls could talk, how many stories would they tell? How many declarations of love have been heard here? How many important discussions have been made? We keep old books here. They are brought by our guests, leaving a piece of the history. Oh, look! What an interesting find! An old recipe book. The pages are so fragile, yellow this time, and the smell, it smells of time stories and oh, what is this? Lettuce? writing, so elegant, ornate. May 20, 1956. Dear Elizabeth, I writing to you, sitting in our cafe. Your apple pie was especially successful today, as sweet as your smile. Remember how we first met here? You were starting the art of baking with Madame Rose, and I just came in to warm up on a rainy day, but now I know it was fate. Every morning I come here a little earlier than usual, hoping to see you, mixing the dough. Your hands seem to create magic. So grateful, so confident. I love watching your frown while measuring the ingredients. How you smile while tasting the cream. How you hum something quietly, thinking that now one hears you. You know, today Madame Rose said that you're making great progress, but how could it be otherwise? After all, you put a piece of your soul into a pie. I feel it in every piece, in every crumb, especially in that cinnamon apple aroma that haunts me even in my dreams. Tomorrow I'm leaving for Boston on business for only a week, but it seems to me that it will be an eternity. A week without your peace, without your smile, without the opportunity to secretly watch you through the kitchen window. I promise to write every day. Forever yours, Thomas. Look, here is the recipe for apple pie. Elizabeth, apple pie, and notes in the margins. Add more cinnamon. Thomas like this spicy taste. We were so in love. Imagine there is a whole stack of lettuce here. I can't even believe it. I holding someone's love stories in my hands. This is already different handwriting. It must be from Elizabeth. Dear Thomas, it's been 3 days since you left, and I keep looking for you among the visitors. Out of habit, I prepare your favorite pie, adding a little more cinnamon. Madame Rosa says that I'm daydreaming, and today I even outsalted the dough of croissants. You know, I started writing down recipes in this book. Every time I create something new, I think of you, about how you would appreciate it, what you would say. Today I came up with a new recipe, berry tartlets with lemon cream, just as bright and fresh as our meeting. Madame Rosa says that this is my most successful recipe. The perfect balance of sweet and sour, like in true love. Everything here reminds me of you, your favorite place by the window, the cup from which you always drink coffee, even the bell above the door rings somehow sadder, as if it also misses you. Come back soon. I keeping a piece of that very apple pie for you, with cinnamon as you like it. Yours, Elizabeth. How beautifully she writes. And you know what's surprising? Here it is, that very tartlet recipe with notes, corrections. You see how she gradually brought it to perfection. Oh, there is even a small note in the margins. Try eating lime zest. Thomas loves citrus fruit. How touching she thought of him, even the small things. I wonder what happened next. Maybe the love story began with these tartlets. Let's find out. Beloved Elizabeth, your letter reached me in Boston, and I reread it again and again. These tartlets, you know, I'm not a big fan of sweets, but your desserts are quite another matter. There is something special about them, some secret ingredient, although perhaps this ingredient is your love. Here in Boston, I go to different cafes and bakeries, but nothing compares to your baking. Today I tried a lemon pie. It was too sweet without that special sourness that You always pick so accurately. I miss your experiment, how you let me try new recipes, your exciting look when you wait for my reaction. You know, I was thinking maybe we should open our own cafe. Small, cozy, where you could realize all your culinary fantasies. I looked at a place on Maple Street, but more on that when we meet. Only 3 days until I return. I look forward to it. Forever yours, Thomas. Imagine the dream of opening the own cafe. I wonder if the dream came true. Dear Thomas, I couldn't sleep all night thinking about your waltz. Our own cafe. It sounds like a beautiful dream, a place where we could be together every day, create something special, share it with people. Madame Rosa found me today when I was drawing our future cafe in the margins of the recipe. She just smiled and said that love makes us artists of our destiny, and I couldn't stop dreaming. Imagine our future. How in the morning you will greet guests and I create new recipes. How we will close the cafe together in the evening and make plans for tomorrow. You know, I keep all your letters in an old recipe book. Between the pages, like dried flowers. Sometimes I reread them and feel like you're near. Every word, every line, like like a small declaration of love. Come back soon. I have so much to tell you. With love, your Elizabeth. How exciting it is to read these letters. Every word is imbued with such warmth. My dear Elizabeth, I just signed all the papers. The house on Maple Street is now ours. I know I should have waited for you, but I couldn't resist. It's perfect. Old windows, wooden trims on the ceiling, a small courtyard where you can arrange a veranda in the summer. I'm sure you will love it as much as I do. When I stood there in the empty hall, the sun was breaking through the windows, drawing patterns on the floor, and I so clearly imagined our future. You in the morning light, happy, making plans for the kitchen. Our first visitors, cozy evenings together after clothing. Elizabeth, I know this is the beginning of something beautiful, the beginning of our story. Tomorrow I will show you our future home. I hope you will forgive me for this little surprise. Your Thomas. Buying a house without saying a word. What a romantic act. Dear Thomas, today I hold in my hands the keys to our future home. Everything feels so right, as if this old house on Apple Street was waiting just for us. I stand by the window, look at the street, and imagine how every morning we will meet there down here together. Thomas, I have a special surprise for you, but I'll tell you about it when we meet. I hope you will forgive me for this little secret. With love and anticipation, your Elizabeth. It's strange, there are no more letters, but look, on the last page of the recipe books, something is written, some kind of recipe, but not quite ordinary. Special tea for a special day. Recipe for Thomas. And a date. It's the day they moved into the new home. Add rose petals, a little lavender and mint from our future courtyard, and at the bottom a postscript. Thomas, I will prepare this tea on the day I tell you my secret. I hope it will be as special as our love. You know, I don't know what happened next, whether they opened the cafe, what your surprise was, but these letters, this book, they keep such sincere, pure love. Maybe that's why our cafe is so special. After all, somewhere here on this street, the story once was. I'll keep these letters. Let them be our little secret. And maybe one day the owners will return here. I wonder what this special tea was for. And the best women often share important news over a cup of tea, especially if this news was about a new addition to the family. There is so much hope, so much anticipation of a miracle in these letters, and for some reason I'm sure the story had a happy ending. After all, our cafe was also someone's dreams, someone's love story, and new stories are born here every day. Sometimes when I stay alone after clothing, it seems to me that the walls keep echoes of all these stories. It's time to close the cafe. But you know, now every time I make tea, I will remember Elizabeth and Thomas, and the special recipe for a special day. Thank you for sharing this story with me. You know, I believe that true love lives. It is in old letters, in recipes, in the walls of houses, and maybe that's why people feel something special in our cafe. You know, maybe one day we will also become part of some amazing story. But for now, it's time to say goodbye. It's already getting dark outside, and the cafe is falling asleep until tomorrow, until new meetings and new stories.